Are you kidding me right now? What we witnessed on Monday Night Raw was nothing short of disgusting family betrayal that has me absolutely furious. Solo Sikoa, the so-called family man, just destroyed his own cousin's championship dreams, and then had the audacity to watch Jacob Fatu get jumped by his own flesh and blood. And don't even get me started on Roman Reigns sitting there with that smug smile, celebrating while his supposed ally Jacob Fatu was getting his face pounded in by Zilla Fatu. This is the kind of toxic family dysfunction that makes my blood boil, and if you're not outraged by what happened, then you weren't paying attention. The Samoan dynasty just declared war on itself, and the fallout is going to be nuclear. Let me paint you the picture of how this absolute travesty unfolded, because what Solo Sikoa did to Jacob Fatu was beyond disrespectful, it was downright evil. Jacob was seconds away from capturing the United States Championship, finally getting the recognition he's deserved for months of carrying this pathetic excuse for a bloodline on his back. The match was perfect. Jacob had his opponent exactly where he wanted them, the crowd was on their feet, and justice was about to be served. But then Solo Sikoa, this manipulative, jealous, power-hungry coward, decided that he couldn't stand seeing Jacob succeed where he had failed. Solo stormed down that ramp like he owned the place, grabbed a steel chair, and deliberately cost Jacob the championship. Not by accident, not by mistake, but with calculated malice. He looked Jacob dead in the eyes and chose to destroy his cousin's dreams because his own fragile ego couldn't handle Jacob being more successful than him. And the worst part? Solo tried to play it off like it was some kind of strategic decision for the good of the family. What kind of sick, twisted logic is that? You don't cost your own blood a championship opportunity and then claim it's for their own good. That's psychological manipulation at its most disgusting level. Jacob's face after that betrayal was heartbreaking. You could see the shock, the disbelief, the absolute devastation of realizing that the person he trusted most had just stabbed him in the back in front of millions of people. Solo didn't just cost him a title, he humiliated him on the biggest stage possible. But if you thought Solo's betrayal was the end of this nightmare, you were dead wrong. Because what happened next was even more infuriating. As Jacob was trying to process what his own cousin had just done to him, trying to figure out how to respond to this ultimate act of disrespect, that's when the real chaos erupted. Zilla Fatu, Jacob's own brother, came charging down that ramp like a man possessed. And instead of going after Solo for what he did to Jacob, instead of standing up for family loyalty and defending his brother's honor, Zilla went straight for Jacob. His own flesh and blood. The sight of Zilla attacking Jacob while he was already down, already devastated from Solo's betrayal, was absolutely sickening. This wasn't just a wrestling match, this was a family member kicking another family member while they were at their lowest point. Where is the honor in that? Where is the respect? And the attack wasn't just physical, it was personal. Zilla was screaming at Jacob, calling him weak, calling him a disappointment to the family name, saying he deserved everything that happened to him. Imagine hearing those words from your own brother. Imagine the psychological damage of having the people you love most turn against you in your moment of greatest need. The crowd was stunned into silence. You could hear a pin drop in that arena because nobody could believe what they were witnessing. Samoan family members, raised with the same values, taught the same traditions, were tearing each other apart like wild animals. But here's what made me absolutely sick to my stomach, Roman Reigns' reaction to all of this. This man, who claims to be Jacob's ally, who talks about family and loyalty and the Samoan way, was sitting at ringside with the biggest smile on his face. He was enjoying watching Jacob get destroyed by his own family. Roman didn't move a muscle to help Jacob. He didn't try to stop the attack. He didn't even look concerned. He sat there like he was watching his favorite movie, completely entertained by Jacob's suffering. What kind of ally does that? What kind of friend finds joy in their partner's pain? And when the cameras caught Roman's face, you could see the satisfaction in his eyes. He was happy that Jacob had been humiliated. He was pleased that the family was tearing itself apart. This is the same Roman Reigns who preaches about family values and Samoan pride. This is leadership. The more I think about it, the more I'm convinced that Roman orchestrated this whole thing. Think about it, Solo costs Jacob the title, Zilla attacks Jacob, and Roman sits there grinning like the cat who caught the canary. This has Roman's fingerprints all over it. He manipulated this entire situation to keep Jacob down and maintain his own position of power. Roman has always been jealous of Jacob's natural talent, his authentic connection with the fans, his ability to steal the show without relying on family politics. So instead of competing fairly, instead of proving himself through hard work and dedication, Roman chose to use family manipulation and betrayal to eliminate his biggest threat. The audacity of this man to call himself a leader while orchestrating the destruction of his own supposed ally is beyond comprehension. This isn't leadership, this is cowardly manipulation of the highest order. What happened next was honestly hard to watch, and I mean that in the most serious way possible. Zilla's attack on Jacob wasn't just aggressive, it was vicious. This wasn't wrestling, this wasn't competition, this was one brother trying to literally destroy another brother. Zilla was throwing punches like he was trying to end Jacob's career. Every shot was aimed at maximum damage, every move was designed to cause lasting harm. And Jacob, still reeling from Solo's betrayal, still processing the fact that his own family had turned against him, couldn't mount any real defense. The sound of those punches connecting was sickening. You could hear the impact through the television, you could see the damage being done with every blow. Jacob's face was a mess, his body was broken, and his spirit was completely shattered. And through it all, his own brother kept attacking him with increasing fury. But what made this even more disturbing was the personal nature of the attack. Zilla wasn't just hitting Jacob, he was talking to him, telling him how much he hated him, how he'd always been jealous of the attention Jacob received, how he was tired of living in Jacob's shadow. Years of family resentment came pouring out in the most violent way possible. Zilla admitted that he'd been planning this attack for months, waiting for the perfect moment to destroy his brother. This wasn't a spontaneous outburst, this was premeditated family violence. And where were the officials? Where was security? They let this family beatdown continue for way too long. Jacob could have been seriously injured, his career could have been ended, and nobody seemed to care enough to stop it. The lack of intervention was absolutely disgraceful. By the time officials finally separated Zilla from Jacob, the damage was already done. Jacob was a broken man, physically and emotionally destroyed by the people he trusted most. He had to be helped to the back, barely conscious, completely humiliated in front of the entire WWE universe. But the worst part was seeing Roman's reaction as Jacob was being helped away. Roman actually started clapping. He was applauding Jacob's destruction like it was some kind of entertainment. The disrespect was absolutely unforgivable. This is the man Jacob had been loyal to, the man he had supported through everything, and Roman celebrated his downfall. Solo, meanwhile, looked absolutely pleased with himself. He accomplished exactly what he set out to do, destroy Jacob's championship opportunity and watch him get beaten down by his own family. Solo's jealousy and insecurity had finally found their outlet, and he was loving every second of it. The implications of what happened are staggering. The Samoan wrestling dynasty, which has been built on principles of family loyalty and mutual respect, just completely imploded. Generations of tradition and honor were thrown away in one night of petty jealousy and manipulation. Jacob Fatu, one of the most talented and respected wrestlers in the world, has been betrayed by literally everyone he trusted. His cousin cost him a championship, his brother physically attacked him, and his allies celebrated his destruction. How does someone come back from that level of betrayal? And what does this mean for the future of Samoan representation in WWE? Instead of showing the world the strength and unity of Samoan culture, these men have turned it into a soap opera of family dysfunction and violence. They've embarrassed their heritage and disrespected their ancestors. The more I analyze what happened, the more convinced I become that this was all planned by Roman Reigns. Think about the timing, think about the coordination, think about who benefits from Jacob's destruction. Roman had everything to gain from seeing Jacob humiliated and removed from the championship picture. Roman has been threatened by Jacob's rising popularity for months. Jacob connects with the fans in a way that Roman never could. Jacob's wrestling ability makes Roman look ordinary by comparison. Jacob's authentic personality makes Roman's character seem forced and artificial. So Roman, being the master manipulator that he is, found a way to eliminate his biggest competition without getting his own hands dirty. He used Solo's jealousy and Zilla's resentment to destroy Jacob while maintaining plausible deniability. It's genius in its evil brilliance. Roman probably spent weeks planting seeds of doubt in Solo's mind, telling him that Jacob was getting too much attention, that Jacob was threatening Solo's position in the family hierarchy. Roman knew exactly how to push Solo's buttons to get the reaction he wanted. And with Zilla, Roman probably played on years of sibling rivalry, convincing Zilla that Jacob had always been the favorite, that Jacob's success came at Zilla's expense. Roman is a master at finding people's insecurities and exploiting them for his own benefit. The fact that Roman was sitting ringside for all of this, perfectly positioned to watch his plan unfold, proves that he orchestrated the entire thing. This wasn't coincidence, this was calculated destruction of Jacob Fatu's career and reputation. What makes this entire situation even more disgusting is how it completely betrays everything that Samoan culture stands for. Samoan families are supposed to be built on respect, loyalty, and mutual support. Family members are supposed to lift each other up, not tear each other down. But what we saw on Raw was the complete opposite of those values. We saw jealousy, betrayal, manipulation, and violence between people who should love and protect each other. It was a disgraceful display that disrespected generations of Samoan tradition. Jacob Fatu has always represented the best of Samoan wrestling heritage. He's shown respect for his elders, loyalty to his family, and dedication to his craft. He's carried himself with dignity and honor throughout his career. And this is how he gets repaid. Solo Sikoa and Zilla Fatu have shown that they care more about their own egos than about family honor. They've proven that they're willing to destroy their own flesh and blood for personal gain. That's not the Samoan way, that's just pure selfishness. And Roman Reigns, who should be the leader and example for the younger generation, has shown that he's nothing but a manipulative politician who will use anyone and destroy anyone to maintain his own power. He's a disgrace to the title of tribal chief. The Samoan wrestling community should be outraged by what these men have done. They've taken the proud tradition of Samoan wrestling excellence and turned it into a circus of family dysfunction. They've embarrassed their culture on the biggest stage possible. But here's what I believe is going to happen next, and this is where things get really interesting. Jacob Fatu is not going to take this betrayal lying down. This man is a warrior, and warriors don't stay down when they're knocked down, they get back up stronger than before. Jacob now has the greatest motivation any wrestler could ask for, the burning desire for revenge against the people who destroyed him. He's going to use this betrayal as fuel to become more dangerous, more focused, and more determined than he's ever been before. Think about the most compelling wrestling storylines in history, they've all involved someone who was betrayed, written off, and left for dead, only to come back and destroy everyone who wronged them. Jacob Fatu is now in that exact position. He's going to systematically hunt down every person who was involved in his destruction. Solo Sikoa is going to pay for costing him the championship. Zilla Fatu is going to pay for the family beatdown. And Roman Reigns is going to pay for orchestrating the entire conspiracy. But Jacob's revenge isn't going to be quick or simple, it's going to be methodical and brutal. He's going to make each of them suffer the way they made him suffer. He's going to destroy their careers the way they tried to destroy his. And when Jacob finally gets his hands on Roman Reigns, when he finally exposes Roman as the manipulative coward behind all of this betrayal, it's going to be one of the most satisfying moments in wrestling history. Justice will finally be served. The bloodline as we knew it is dead. What happened on Raw was the final nail in the coffin of what was once WWE's most dominant faction. The family unity that made them unstoppable has been completely destroyed by jealousy, ego, and manipulation. But maybe that's exactly what needed to happen. Maybe the bloodline had become too comfortable, too complacent, too focused on politics instead of excellence. Maybe Jacob needed to be freed from the toxic family dynamics that were holding him back. Now Jacob has the opportunity to forge his own path, to build his own legacy without being tied down by family obligations and expectations. He can focus purely on being the incredible wrestler we all know he is. And when Jacob finally gets his revenge, when he destroys everyone who betrayed him and claims the championships he deserves, it's going to be even more satisfying because he'll have earned it entirely on his own merit. The wrestling world is about to witness the rise of Jacob Fatu as a true superstar, free from family politics and ready to show everyone exactly what he's capable of when he's fighting for himself instead of fighting for people who don't appreciate him. This betrayal might have been the best thing that could have happened to Jacob's career, even though it was absolutely disgusting to watch. Sometimes you have to lose everything to find out who you really are. I want to know what you think about this absolute travesty. Are you as furious as I am about Solo's betrayal? Are you disgusted by Zilla's attack on his own brother? Are you outraged by Roman's celebration of Jacob's destruction? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now. Tell me if you think Roman orchestrated this whole thing. Tell me how you think Jacob should get his revenge. And share this video with every wrestling fan you know because this story is too important to ignore. If you're not already subscribed to Wrestling News CC, what are you waiting for? We're the only channel brave enough to tell you the truth about what's really happening in WWE. Hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell because this story is just getting started. The Samoan Civil War has begun, and Jacob Fatu's quest for revenge is going to be epic. Don't miss a single moment of what's about to unfold. This is Wrestling News CC, and we'll see you in the next one. If you thought tonight's story was wild, trust me, what happens next will blow your mind. So don't stop now. Click on the video right here on your screen to continue the chaos, the drama, and the inside scoop only we deliver. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and join the Wrestling News CC family, where the real stories of WWE come to life. See you in the next one.